Good morning. We are studying Ilransang vow because we chant every Saturday here. I'm the kind of person that if I don't understand, I don't want to do it. That's why we are studying Ilransang vow. Last Sunday, I talked about that Ilran is the realm of samadhi, beyond all words and speech. So you can look at that Ilransang vow now that if you think Ilransang as your own Buddha nature, symbol of your Buddha nature, or symbol of your inner beauty, don't try to understand by word or speech or thinking. Just feel it, be one with it. So samadhi means it's beyond dualistic thinking. So in meditation, we enter the samadhi. So we become one with our own Buddha nature. We become our inner beauty. We become our intrinsic goodness. Now today, second line, Ilran is the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being. In our world, everything appears means birth into kind of form, and everything also disappear as a non-being, as death. Very simple example of the tree outside. In wintertime, they dropped all the leaf. So leaf was gone, death. So leaf become non-being now, but in a few months, when we have a spring, the leaf coming out of the bare trees, and they grow and grow. So coming out of it is taking birth into being. Not only tree, everything in the universe is like that, constantly changing it. Being into non-being, and non-being into being again. So because of that, it's transcending, the transcendental nature of all beings on earth. So Ilran is the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being. Since it's constantly changing into being, into non-being, non-being into being, we cannot say this is a being or non-being. And third, Ilran is the origin of a universe, parents, living beings, and laws. This is talking about the fundamental truth of Buddhism, especially in Won Buddhism. Buddhist understanding is everything in the universe, everyone, everything, every being in the universe are interdependent and interconnected. So very simply, air, water, sunlight, moonlight, stars, everything, trees, even all things are interconnected. Without them, we cannot live here. And when we were a baby, or even without parents, we would not be here. Parents brought us to this earth and nourished us when we are really baby. And they nurture us. If not our personal parent, somebody in our lives is parenting it. And third category is living beings. All living beings helping each other, intentionally or unintentionally. Every living being is helping each other and interdependent, interconnected, consciously or unconsciously. Some people know it, some people may not know it. And laws, especially Dharma, this kind of teaching. Because of the spiritual law, natural law, and societal law, we have order, we have peace, we have security, we feel safe. So this is the Ilransang, is a symbol of that. So everything comes from Ilransang. So Sotaesan said, Ilransang, one circle manifests into for the grace, named here universe, parents, or living beings and laws. And then the original nature of all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, humans, and sentient beings. This is the power. If you understand that's this line, you are empowered. Because Ilonsang is your original nature of all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, humans, and sentient beings, which means that you, each one of you, have an equal and the same enlightened seed and Buddha nature, just like Gautama Buddha, just like Sotaesan. Not a small inch difference or less than that. So every one of you have that kind of a very powerful enlightened seed within us. So it says, original nature of all Buddhas. All Buddhas means all awakened ones, all sages. And we have equal and same enlightened seed of Buddha nature within us, and all bodhisattvas and humans and sentient beings, even sentient beings. It's just a matter of how much you cultivate it. It depends on how much you cultivate, how much you develop, how much psychologically, emotionally you are developing and cultivating. It depends on just your persistent, consistent practice. There are different 4 categories over here. So, do you think you have Buddha nature? Do you really understand you have this Buddha nature in you? Do you relate your inner beauty and intrinsic goodness in your daily life? Not only human being has it, but it says that all sentient being means even animal has it. Some animal has a little more developed, so we can see their Buddha nature in them sometimes. Some others, it's very violent, so it's very hard to see their Buddha nature. I had a very vivid experience of a dog who had a really Buddha nature. I saw them and really enjoyed their Buddha nature. In 1993, we purchased our Manhattan building. It's a townhouse. They built it 1890s. So it's a very old building. April, we purchased it. Somehow July, we had to move in because we didn't have any place. We used all the funding available just to purchase the building, and all the funding available we have to put in renovation because it was a very, very old building. You know, some electric line was very bad, and plumbing line was so bad, and we have to change the column and so forth. So in the middle of this chaotic renovation, I was living in the building. So there was big concern about asbestos, and I didn't know at that time that there is a aspergillus kind of fungus living in the dust. And I got them. I was allergic to many things. So if healthy people, the fungus coming in, they go out when you breathe out. But in my case, because of allergic condition, when they come in, they love the allergic condition of my sinus, they stick it and they grew. I didn't know about it. And then one day, 2003, about 9 or 10 years later, my left hand side was paralyzed. I couldn't hold anything in my left hand. I just dropped it. My leg was I didn't have a balance. So I went to see the doctor, and they think it's something wrong with your brain. We have to take an MRI on your brain. When you took an MRI, my right hemisphere of my brain was filled with fungus. So I didn't have insurance here. I went to Korea, had the surgery. And then in Korea, they didn't know this kind of fungus problem in Manhattan. Especially, I learned later that all the building patients got this fungus problem. And then if they got this aspergillus fungus, many people died. It's killing human beings. You think about it, small fungus can come into your body and can kill human beings. And Korean doctor who did the surgery told me that you have such a large black fungus in your sinus. So I asked, what is it? It's aspergillus. I never heard of it. So I asked him, write it down. When I returned to the United States, at least I want to know what was it. So I took it. After surgery, I had a continuous problem. So I saw the doctor in Manhattan. And they said that you are so lucky. You know, nobody, the doctor told me that the infection by aspergillus survived. Somehow I was lucky. Maybe I was meditating. They all stayed in the brain here, around sinus. It's just the empty space here. They just contained there. So doctor always checked me and they said that I have to check whether you are really alive. or ghost is here. So that time I visited Jindo Island. I thought that maybe just a 3 days visit to a small island, one of our youth retreat center. And I ended up to stay there 4 months. My body was trembling down. I didn't have any energy even to take a train back to Seoul and airplane to come back to New York. So I took time off, and then it's so strange world. And I didn't know anybody there. And then I was relating one dog. It's Jindo dog. The Jindo dog is a very famous dog in Korea. So when I wake up, Jindo dog was greeting me in front of my bedroom. So I tried to hike and do the walking meditation to the ocean and hike. And I was really afraid. It's a strange place, women alone, walking around like that. It's so strange. A lot of things can happen. But this Jindo dog always waiting for me. And her name is Sky, actually. She always go wherever I go. So if I go to hiking, if I sit in meditation on the rock, she was sitting next to me. It's a hunting dog. If along the hiking path, she just jump around here and come back and show me she's here, and then jump this mountain and then coming back to. So this is a kind of daily activity. If I do kind of a yoga in the ocean on the sand, she was just sitting next to me, look like this, just watching me every single thing I do. So I felt that this dog has a real Buddha nature, really protected me. The only one I was comfortable enough and reliable enough that give me kind of a safety or feeling of security was this Jindo dog, one dog. So this is something that Sotaesan talked about. Not only Buddha has that enlightened see within themselves as a Buddha nature, but all Bodhisattva has the kind of same, exactly identical nature, and even sentient beings, even birds sometimes. I see, especially bird in Won Dharma Center has much more developed their own Buddha nature. One day, when I lived in Manhattan, one day I came here for the retreat, and after retreat, I went to the one guest house one day. There was one bird sitting on the deck. So I said, next to me, are you meditating? So we sat about 20 minutes, the bird and myself, right in this deck. And we are meditating 20 minutes. After 20 minutes meditation, still this bird did not move at all. So I felt that maybe she's sick. So I picked them up on my hand. She was sitting here. So I said, are you okay? Still doesn't say anything. I'm really worried about it. Maybe she's really sick. So oh, you may be sick, let's go to office, let's find the things to feel you better. When I get up and try to bring her to the office, at that moment, she floats out in the sky. So see even bird, even dog has that kind of Buddha nature. That as a human being, as a highly developed human being who has a highest developed intellect, and that intellectual capacity can understand things. So the key teaching of this phrase is that we all have a Buddha nature. Don't ever forget that, especially when you have a challenging time, especially you have a difficulty, and make sure you see, circle, Iran-san, and recognize your inner beauty. The moment of your difficulty, challenges, hardships, sometimes hindrance, all the difficulties sometimes make you so depressed. And all those negative thinking, word, action can take place. But that is the real moment to look at the Iran-san and remember of your Buddha nature, remember of your inner beauty, remember of your inborn wisdom, remember of your real compassion, loving kindness within your own mind. So just does the thick cloud of greed, anger, hatred, delusion cover you up, make you depressed, make you angry, make you really greedy. But underneath that thick cloud, you have this kind of so powerful, beautiful nature. And we call it enlightened seed in each and every one.